We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Sammy is up. It is June 1st, 2026. It is 9:22 a.m. So, let's see. Let me cancel that. As far as the updates, did some dishes. That's about it. Ranted to my wife a little bit about work tonight. I just had some issues with somebody trying to just be weird and insubordinate. He's like, I don't know, like a black supremacist, like racist dude against white people and apparently Native Americans too. The other day, Native American stuff got brought up in conversation and he looked at me and he said, "You're not an Indian." And I said, "Well, you're not black." It was, I don't know, man. He's been hanging out with some, like, new people that work there and just, I don't know what they're feeding through his brain, but just weird shit, man. That's about it for an update. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, I will send you a bumper sticker. These things are durable as heck. My wife has one on her coffee mug. I used to have one on my car. That car has been like through snow, rain, sunshine, all sorts of stuff. It's not worn out. The one on her coffee mug, dude, it's been washed. That coffee mug's been washed 1,000 times. It's still not wearing out. So, good stickers. And you will also get a bookmark with a little steampunk bunny on there, and I'll sign the back. Yeah. So if you donate to the channel with Buy Me a Coffee, you get those things for free. I will mail them to you. Be snail mail, but it's free, you know. Let's get on with the show. Alright, so these are two new stories, fairly new. People are still reporting on them, so I feel like it's new. There's been some weird shit going on with Fox News. I think we'll get to the second story. If not, so be it. I just kind of do things off the cuff. So, these are fun ones. These two are two new stories, but they're fun ones. So, Fox News here recently, and I know Fox News, it's Illuminati, it's fucking propaganda, Operation Mockingbird. By the way, these people talk to me like I'm stupid, like I haven't been in the game since like 2012, you know? I've been content creating for 11 years, but I've been like full-blown awake since like 2012. Like, where the fuck were you? Because the other day, dude, I was in a comment section. Cracked me the fuck up, man. I was watching Luke Radowski, which, by the way, Luke Radowski's been in the game longer than me. You know, if you guys think I'm like a conspiracy veteran, like, this motherfucker's been in the game longer than me. He's like literally recorded and harassed like Lord Rothschild, snuck on Epstein Island. He was the first one to sneak on Epstein Island. But he was broadcasting and someone said, he was in his hotel room and someone said, Why is CNN on the in the background? And I commented and I said, first of all, if you can't watch CNN and Fox and figure out that it's Operation Mockingbird, you're kind of retarded. Don't insult his intelligence, because he's smart enough to pick it apart. Because, by the way, they put in grains of truth within that shit. I tell people to watch CNN and Fox and pray for discernment, but watch it with the mindset of knowing that it's propaganda, because they actually tell you their plans. It's called lesser magic. You should probably pay attention to it, because the crazy motherfuckers who run this world are occultists, and they practice lesser magic. Meaning, if I tell you I'm going to poke you in the eyeball, and you just look at me and you go, haha, no, you're crazy, Abe. And then I poke you in the fucking eye, and you go, ow, what the fuck? Why'd you poke me in the eye? I say, I told you I was going to do it. Now I receive no karmic repercussion. Lesser magic. That's dark occultism. So every now and then I think you should tune in to Fox News or CNN, because they tell you what's going to happen next. They literally tell you their hand. It's not poker. It's not poker. So if you're a poker fan, it's not poker. You know, they literally show you their hand. They tell you exactly what they're going to do, you know. We've covered it for 11 years now, I believe. Anyways, though, Fox News guest Robert Harward sparks wild conspiracy theory over latest TV appearance. So, this is like some old school conspiracy shit of like, back in the good old days when YouTube was the Wild West, of like, oh, look, this person's eyeballs turned into lizard slits, or, it kind of reminds me of the QAnon shit, because you guys know my past. I used to be a Q-tard of, Joe Biden. And by the way, yes, I have denounced QAnon after learning about Operation Trust. I know it's a fucking psyop, but I don't think that's the same Joe Biden. I'm sorry. That is one little nugget from QAnon that I was like, yeah, that's not the same dude. I've looked at old footage of Joe Biden and the newer footage. That's not the same guy. And I'm pretty sure there's multiple times that motherfucker was wearing a mask. So here on Fox News, they had this, what was his name? Waryard or whatever. Let's see, Robert Harward. I am curious. I think he's, we'll get into the article, but look at this fucking picture. This motherfucker is wearing a mask. Look at his neck. I'm sorry, man. I've been around a ton of old people. That's a motherfucking mask. The same shit that we seen with Joe Biden a bunch of times. We seen it with the Pope. I've covered that before. Lesser magic. When I was talking about lesser magic earlier, there was this movie called MI2, Mission Impossible 2. The whole big spiel about that movie was the whole mask thing. They have these little voice things they put on their neck. They tell you what they're doing. It's predictive programming, lesser magic, revelation of the method. Those are three different terms. They all mean the same shit. It just, one's on an occultic level. The other two are on like an Operation Mockingbird level. So if you're not into the occult, you probably should study it, because the people who rule the world are occultists. But you should probably become an occultist. And all that means is, like, to become an occultist means you study the occult. You could still be a Christian. Like, it's not a bad thing. It just means hidden. Predictive programming. And I mean, you see this shit with MI2 and shit of like, 007. 007 was written by an MI6 person. Splinter Cell. Born Identity, same author. That was written by like an ex-CIA, which by the way, there's no such thing as ex-CIA. Once CIA, always CIA. But they tell even, you should probably honestly read these books that these ex-spies write, like the 007 series, the Mission Impossibles, the Born Identities, Splinter Cell, all this shit. Dan Kuntz or whatever the fuck his name is. You should probably be reading this shit because I know they're novels, but they're not really novels, if you catch my drift. It's lesser magic. It's revelation of the method. But yeah, if you guys remember MI2, man, they were using fucking mask. And if you don't want to talk about lesser magic and you don't want to talk about predictive programming, I'll tell you this. There's an actual true story of the head of CIA at the time was a woman. Give me 2 seconds. The head of CIA was a woman. And this was during George Bush Sr.'s administration. We're going to have to do a whole episode on it. I keep saying it. I need to write it down. Hang on. Let me write it down because we need to fucking do a whole episode on this shit. Because I brought this story up a billion fucking times. So, like, I need to just one day just do an episode on it. That way I can stop re-bringing this story up. And I can just link it down below. She snuck past all the Secret Service, which we already know they're fucking retarded. I mean, how many times have we talked about the Secret Service on this channel? Yes, they're retarded, but she snuck past the White House security, and she got all the way to George Bush Sr. and talked to him for like, I think it was like 10 minutes or something, and in the middle of a sentence, she just pulls her mask off. And George Bush Sr. was like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did you sneak past all my guards? I thought you were an actual dude. You're a chick. And she's like, yeah, I'm the head of the CIA, and I just wanted to show you the modern technology that we have. So that was George Bush Sr.'s administration. So there's no telling how good the fucking technology is now. So Robert Harward, a Fox News guest, has sparked a social media frenzy with wild speculation that he went on live TV wearing a prosthetic mask. Retired Navy Vice Admiral Robert Harward made a brief appearance on the America Newsroom program on Tuesday to discover the ongoing war with Iran, and Fox host Bill Hemmer and Dana Perino. By the way, dude, this tells you, like, Fox News, man, they never hooked me in because I remember 9/11 and the weapons of mass destruction. I remember all that shit. But I do have to say, man, I always loved Tucker Carlson. Like, I actually subscribed to Fox News just to watch Tucker Carlson. And I honestly, dude, when they fired him, I'm like, oh, thank God. Because, like, I was always in the closet, like, a Fox News watcher just for Tucker Carlson. So when he actually got that fucking Operation Mockingbird leash off of him and he got to say whatever the fuck he wanted to, now he's like doing episodes talking about fallen angels and UFOs and Operation Mockingbird. Dude, he's like literally talking about conspiracy shit now, and I fucking love it. The best thing that ever happened to Tucker was getting fired from Fox News, because now he has no master, you know. But I don't know any of these people. Bill Hemmer, and Dana Perino. This is a segment apparently called America's Newsroom. Do you guys even watch this? Do you guys know these people? I have no clue who these motherfuckers are. In the days since, his TV spot has exploded online, but not for his actual remarks about the conflict. There's a video, by the way. Well, there was a video. I guess it just plays ads instead, but instead, bizarre conspiracy theories have been popping up claiming Harward, who was once tapped to be President Trump's national security advisor. By the way, the whole tapped, I love that they don't even hide this shit. This is why I tell people you guys need to study occultism. Do you know where the word tapping comes from? And by the way, you see this in a lot of shit. Of like here it says that Harward was once tapped to be President Donald Trump's national security advisor. Like when you're playing Magic the Gathering, occultism. When you're playing Magic the Gathering, you tap your creatures. It's literally an occult term. And it comes from like Skull and Bones and shit. We did a whole video on it. I cannot recall. I'll have to look it up. I've done almost 700 episodes. A billion fucking hours. I've been content creating for 11 years, but we did a whole episode on Tap Day. Skull and Bones. Go look up. Shit. I don't know. Just, yeah, I did a whole Skull and Bones episode. And we talk about Tap Day. And it's a day that everyone who puts in basically puts in an application to Skull and Bones. If the Bonesmen see that you're worthy of being part of the tomb, they will tap you on the shoulder at a certain place at a certain time. It's like this little festival that's held in Yale. And if you're worthy to be a Bonesman, they literally tap you on the shoulder and they give you a code in your ear. And now you're a Bonesman. You're in the fucking club. Well, you got to get initiated, but you're chosen. You're tapped. So I love that they use this whole tapped shit. But anyways, they're saying that, yeah, Harward wore a mask. And I showed you the image. The dude looks like he's wearing a mask. I am hereby boycotting any further activities of any kind in my life until someone Googles Robert Harward Fox News mask and explains to me, like I am a 5-year-old, exactly what in the B horror movie hell I just saw. Seriously, just shutting my life down until this is resolved. One person wrote on X. This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. What the fuck? Another person wrote on X. One user chimed in, holy shit, why is this man on Fox News wearing a literal CIA mask? So they know the technology that they have of these masks. By the way, look at older interviews with this Harward character. And look at the recent one. They look completely fucking different. And he came out and did another one here like 2 days ago, I think. Others in Xanier corners, I don't know what that means. Xanier corners of the internet. Wow, you're a fancy person. Of the internet claimed it was all a part of some sinister plot. Probably. I mean, this guy's literally a spook. And Abe said spook. By the way, that word is not a racist word. I know it's been turned into a racist word, but spook has been used in the conspiracy community for a billion years, since like the 1950s and shit. It means that somebody is a government piece of shit. Whether that be FBI, CIA, MI6, Man in Black, and MIB. It just means that somebody is working for the government. Oh, that person's a spook, a narcotics agent, somebody who's undercover, a secret agent. It doesn't mean a black person. What it is the government, like it always does, it takes these beautiful words we have of the English language and they co-opt it. They astroturf it. So like spook got co-opted into a racist term now. The N-word actually got co-opted into a racist term too. All it means is ignorant person. The F-word, faggot, that got co-opted. All it means is a burning batchel of sticks. Like literally, if someone calls you a faggot, you go, oh, I'm a campfire, and they'll probably go, what? It's like, that's what that word means, Gay means happy. All these words get hijacked. Woke used to mean something good. Now it means something terrible. It means like super left progressive, Even progressive. Progressive is not even technically a bad word. It used to mean like I want progress rather than degress, Fox aired an interview with retired Robert Harward, former deputy commander of CENTCOM, CENT-COM. We should probably look into that. What the fuck is CENTCOM? I'm going to write that one down. If you know anything about CENTCOM, hit me up in the comments below because you guys can do your research too. And you guys can tell me what you know. And if you've got, 30 minutes in you, you can always come on the show. I got my email address in the links below. And by the way, dude, there's been like 2 people who have viewed the last episode that I put out earlier today. 0 thumbs up, 0 thumbs down. The algorithm can't tell the difference. So please thumbs up or please thumbs down. I could care less which one you do. I think the deep state does this a lot to make it difficult to figure out what on this flat earth is going on, one person said. I'm a geocentrist. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going into that rant. Another one added, the Robert Harward Fox News interview does not mean he's dead, replaced, or alien. He was likely just unavailable for that day. Thank you so much. That is one thing that I've been saying. I've said this even when I was a Q-tard. I used to say this. Just because that person was not the actual Harward, Robert Harward, that does not mean that Mr. Robert Harward is locked in Guantanamo Bay for treason and trust the plan and QAnon. All these people are good. They're executed. It doesn't mean that. It just means that they had the technology to be in one or more places. Okay. I told this story a billion times. My dad was a huge wrestling fan. And he bought DVDs of the old WrestleManias. He bought like all the WrestleManias. He was a huge wrestling fan. I'm a huge wrestling fan as far as classic wrestling. Like Hulk Hogan, Rowdy Piper, Mean Gene, Randy Savage, all that shit. Gold Dust, all of them. I loved all of them. So, I cannot recall, but if you're a wrestling nerd like me, hit me up in the comments below. Bill Clinton supposedly went to one of these wrestling matches. One of these WrestleManias. And he was behind like bulletproof glass and like they like were like, oh, the president's here, and the fucking announcers, everyone was making a big deal about it. But when they zoomed in on him, even back in the 90s, you could tell. My dad just looked at me. I remember being a little kid watching this, you know, like, and my dad went, "That's not Bill Clinton." And I looked at him and I was like, "What?" Because I was a little kid, you know. He said, "That's not Bill Clinton. That looks nothing like him." And the technology for the mask and shit, you know, and this was like pre-MI2 and shit. He's like, "That's not Bill Clinton." And I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "Why would they put one of the most powerful elite men on the earth in a stadium, a coliseum full of rednecks who hate this guy, Republicans who hate this guy, rednecks? Why would they put him in front of this whole coliseum full of people to get assassinated?" He's like, "Dude, the real Bill Clinton is in a bunker right now." And my mom, I remember hearing her from the kitchen like, "Shut up, Joe. You're going to make him crazy. You're going to make him nuts telling him this stuff, you know?" And I'm like curious as a kitten, like, "What, father? Go on." Like, yeah, dude, you think that's the actual fucking president, dude? No, dude. You think half these people, and the thing is it's for one, it's a security risk, and two, they're just unavailable that day. So this commenter right here is like, hit the head on the nail, dude. And I said this the other day to someone who brought it up to me. I'm like, "Bruh, this motherfucker was just unavailable that day. He was probably in a meeting at the Pentagon or something and was like, just give him a CIA mask, man. Something that looks like me." And they 3D printed it in 2 seconds and ta-da, there you go. He went on to claim the same thing was done with Kamala Harris 3 years ago, but sadly people assumed she had a facelift for a day. Just aren't deep thinkers. It's important that some of you argue less and look and listen more. You're getting left behind. Agreed. Thank you. Oh, I wish they said who this commenter was. That way I could give him a proper shout out, but I've been screaming this at the rooftops. Everything from QAnon was not complete bullshit. Do I think they hijacked the whole Pizzagate conspiracy? Of course. Because I was one who literally was screaming at the rooftops during the Pizzagate era, putting out Pizzagate content, which a lot of that shit got deleted. I never denounced Pizzagate. I denounced QAnon because QAnon took Pizzagate and was like, "Yeah, we discovered all this shit." And it's like, no, you didn't. We didn't even know what QAnon was until you assholes came around and like you wrapped up Christianity with it and did all this weird shit with General Flynn and Trust the Plan, and there's random messages on 4chan, which, by the way, if you actually dig into it deep enough, you know who created QAnon? You ready? Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon created QAnon. You fucking retards. You fucking retards. Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon created QAnon. There you go. There's the creator of QAnon. Ta-da! Trust the plan, guys. Trust Jeffrey Epstein, dude. Well, what they did is, it's the perfect psyop, dude. Is what you do is you take actual real nuggets of truth and you interlace it with a bunch of fucking bullshit. It's what you do. It's what you fucking do, man. So, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I love you all, my little babies. I'm sorry I'm so spitfire, but this is what happens when I haven't podcasted in 6 days. I get a little spitfire. I turn into William Cooper. I get a little Alex Jones up in here. Love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you think about this dude wearing a fucking mask, man.